Yes. A trade review from last Thursday. No, Friday it was at US Open. High time frame first. What happened? Strong violet moves up and down. We found a bottom and we ran up stairwise to new highs, at least for ES. So ES was getting, just before US Open, it was getting close to all-time high. And obviously NQ was lagging because all-time high for NQ is this red line. And clearly there can be seen a high time frame SMT. So focusing on the smaller time frame. Okay, I zoomed in. Took me a while to actually find the right spot, but here we are. This is all-time high. And you can see for NQ buy side liquidity was still a bit further away. So let's run price and see what it gives. So we're currently in close to market open, 8:30. Price was running. So there was a strong move to the upside. Price was running. And then here, this caught my attention because I think the whole week was already a lot of volatility. And this move was a clear divergence between NQ and ES. So we had this candle. If you look at ES, then NQ actually made a move down and ES was giving a solid push through all-time high. So yesterday it already ran. On Thursday it already ran all-time high. And now it was going for it again. So here it did not get a new all-time high, but it's mostly about the divergence. And normally when you get such a divergence, you can see NQ actually dipping any further while ES was pushing higher. I tend to do nothing because this gives me no clear setup whatsoever. ES made new all-time highs. That was clear. And now NQ started to pick up. And then it's interesting to see whether or not NQ is also making similar or reaching similar levels. So NQ also took this level. And I was curious to see if we were able to hit buy side. By now, the market was open. And this was the 5-minute, and this was already the setup for the trade, I think. Yes, because my idea was, taking into account that there is such a clear divergence in the move, NQ going down, ES going up, one of the two is actually showing proper direction. And my feeling was that ES wants to reach new all-time high before dropping. Then what do? Do I start looking for a setup immediately when I see the first correction? My idea was no. I was taking this earlier all-time high, so not these all-time highs, as a guidance that if price is indeed bearish, and this was a manipulative move to reach new all-time highs, then I want to see a close below this level to see a move further down. And ideally, I want to see NQ also reach a certain level or create an SMT or whatever. So let's go to the M1. And my focus was on NQ. So let's run this back a little bit. Let's see. So price was running. And here we had the first SMT being printed. I normally see, so you have a wick here, and then ES was already showing a weakness in price, which does not conclude too much for me, but it is a point to start drawing levels. Because my idea was that if price indeed is bearish, it will at least go back to the all-time high. So I start marking out my FEG levels, and I want to see a change in the state of delivery. And for NQ, this was the first level, but I draw parallel ones for ES as well. So let's run price. So what you could see, this could be like an aggressive entry, but I think it's also what Justin Werlein teaches. The best thing you want to see, especially when there's high volatility near all-time high, in this case for ES, you want to see a change in the state of delivery. So here you could make an aggressive entry when there's a close below IFVG, but then you'll be in profit first and then you get stopped out quickly because the SMT here is just establishing even further. So this level was broken, but is now providing support again. And actually, there's a new FEG being created. And we have a new change in the state of delivery. So this still holds relevance, but less by now for me. So let's see what price is doing. So here you can see that ES is already close to the closing, at least it tapped this lower level, and NQ is doing the same thing, but no close below yet. Now what we have here is a close below. This could be another aggressive entry, but you could fall into the same trap as this one here, just before, a few minutes before. My experiences, or what I've noticed, is that if there is high volatility and there are divergences printed, then I tend to be more patient, because with the volatility comes plenty of opportunity to get into the trade. But there's also plenty of opportunity to get pushed out of the trade by an aggressive wick. And I try to prepare myself in such a way that if I miss the move because there is a lot of volatility, that's okay with me, because these are harsh conditions to trade. Price action is not too clean on the 1 minute. I think if you zoom out to the 3 or to the 5 minutes, it gets a lot cleaner. But then you also tend to lag a bit when you wait for the ideal setup. And to be honest, when the market is trending so strongly, trying to look for a short is counter trend. So then it's better to be not too aggressive, but also not too conservative. So that this is like a very sensitive balance between when to place your trades and when to step back. And to be honest, it still takes some time for me to get fully aware in making such trades. So generally, I try to get a good grip on what the market is actually showing, and I tend to draw similar levels. So here we have created an FEG, which corresponds timing-wise with this FEG. So while NQ has made a push up and is nowhere near this FEG, ES already did a move up and fully round-trip this back to that FEG. So now I'm expecting NQ to at least make a similar move to this level, especially when ES is going to breach this level downwards and go back to the earlier all-time high and even get below it. But this I don't know yet at this time. So what happens now? We have a clear break and another clear break. And for me, now there is a good setup to trade not only the change in the state of delivery, but also to try to trade the IFVG. So here you can go short with maybe minimal contracts and target this level. This is not the best RR, so that I also try to take that into account, because I think, not knowing where the market will go, I think there's still plenty of room to move down, but I don't know if I will get it. The best thing I will get, but this is, I think, I don't know yet, is like a 2R on this trade. I will never go for the wicks because generally they go a few points above and then it reverses again for a move up. And then I would get stopped in maybe break even or at a very minimal R. But taking into account the volatility, my assumption is that from here onwards, there is a potential to at least get to the EQ level or maybe even the 62% correction. Also because ES has now reached this level and is due for a bounce. So for me, I can take this change in the state, go short with stop above here, but there's an alternative to wait and to be patient. And what you can see is that price actually ran all the way back. I think it's even to OTE. Yeah, almost to 97%. Ran back to OTE to fall back down. So would I then take this trade? No, because I'm not certain where ES will go, because this can be just a good proper bounce from support and then make another move higher, because you could see in the high time frame, price was very bullish and there was a lot of momentum in the trade. So I wait. And now when you have a close here, now it gets interesting because we have a close below this IFVG. We do have a close again below the change in the state of delivery. We do have this level here which can provide support. However, we have seen a close below this key level which provided support, 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 support. Last move up and then a strong corrective move down. So if I run it like this is then your ideal entry. So we had the close and you did get another retest into the change in the state and into the FVG, and the same applies for this level. So I was waiting. I put a stop, or at least my entry, again on the change in the state, but now I decided to move my stop here and not here, which would provide me a significantly better R to trade. And then I have small volume imbalance here, but my main target, taking into account that this level is not likely to hold because we just broke this support, is to reach these levels. I think it was around here. So then I go for 2.3 roughly, and I'm okay with whatever happens. And it immediately got tagged. So I think also taking into account that what ES was doing, there is still plenty of opportunity, because if you compare NQ with ES here, there is more downside available. And I think this was also the start of a stronger move down. So there's volatility. And I think afterwards it just moved down even further. But you can see the volatility, this chop, I don't like. I like quick moves. And I don't like to be in the trade any longer than necessary. Because what effectively happens here, if I this actually hit my trade perfectly. So then you get your target in 2 minutes, and all these 10 minutes after will only get you a slightly better R, while running the risk of getting, for example, stopped out here. Because I think I would put my target here, because if price would reach this level, maybe a bit higher, not to get wicked out, but then I would significantly drop my R to, for example, 1 instead of more than 2. And these are the efficient moves that you would like to see happening and to be able to trade. So what was, okay, that was the trade. So patience and respect for the PA. So there will always be time to enter the trade. And if you do not get time to enter the trade, then it was not meant for you. And then it's okay to just let it slide.